Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be participating in questions from the Homeschool Mom tag developed by Tiffany from 5 Ps in the Rodpod. I will have the playlist linked down below so that you can follow all the other moms that are part of this playlist. Come along as you get to know me and my homeschool journey more in depth. Number 1, how long have you been homeschooling? We are finishing our 3rd year homeschooling. We started in 2017. My heart had been calling me for a few years before that. I just never had the courage to actually pull my oldest child from school and get it started. So 3 years feels like a lifetime, but at the same time, it feels like we just started it yesterday. Question 2, how many children are you homeschooling? I have 4 children. Their ages are 3, 5, and 10. So the 3-year-old is starting preschool level work. The 5-year-olds are wrapping up their preschool work and starting kindergarten level work. And the 10-year-old is doing 4th grade level work. On any given day, all 4 of them usually will participate in our homeschool. And so usually I'm homeschooling 4 kids at one time. Question 3, when did you know you wanted to homeschool? So as soon as my 10-year-old went off to preschool at age 4, I joked with my husband all the time that I missed her so much and I wished that I could just homeschool her. At that time, I didn't know any homeschoolers and I didn't know what big of a community that it actually is. And so I was too scared to go against the norm and actually do it. So my real answer is I knew I wanted to do it way back when she was 4 years old. And I kept on considering it because I missed her so much every day while she was at school. I hated that I was missing out on all those light bulb moments when she learned something new or had something exciting. I disliked that everybody else got to share all those moments with her. And I disliked that she came home and I only had a few hours before it was bedtime. And so I was missing out on the majority of her day. My final push to finally make me pull my child and start homeschooling was that she was struggling and her love of learning was going downhill. And to me, that was just so heartbreaking and unacceptable as a mother. I'm lucky enough to work part-time, and so I knew I was able, time-wise, to homeschool her. I just had to make sure what style of homeschooling we wanted to do, what type of curriculum, make sure that it was something that was going to work in the long term. Early on, I knew I wanted to. It just took a lot of years to get the courage. Once I got the courage and actually pulled her, I have no regrets and there's no turning back. Number 4, what was your spouse's reaction and are they supportive? My husband is 100% supportive on just about anything that I do. I'm very blessed that he really doesn't question some of my decisions. If I say that it's something good for the family or good for the kids, he knows that I've already done hours and hours of research to make sure that that is the truth and that I'm confident and that I'm secure in what my decision was. And so my husband's very supportive. He doesn't really take part in the homeschool day, but he's never ever suggested that the kids should go back into public school. He never says that we should quit it or that we should change anything about it. If there's ever a time that I need to change curriculum or anything, he just says, okay, let me know when you need to order it. And so I'm very, very blessed that we're all on the same page. Number 5, how do you make sure that you and your spouse share the same vision for your homeschool journey? As I said in the last question, my husband is 100% supportive. We both agree in the way that we're raising our children and that family and relationship always comes first. And so it's very, very easy. Whatever decision we make is usually around those 2 values. Number 6, have you had any mentors help you along the way? When I first started this journey, I didn't know any homeschoolers. I had found a Facebook homeschool page for our local area, and I had noticed a few ladies on there, but I didn't personally know any of them to reach out and feel really confident in any answers. And so I kind of started it alone. I started going to some of the meetups and play groups that our homeschoolers have. And I met a few moms that I really, really enjoy being around and I value their opinion. So every now and then when I have that really hard day or I'm questioning something that I do, I have a couple moms that I can really reach out to and say, hey, today was a hard day. Or have you ever experienced this and what did you do when you did? Or have you ever tried this curriculum? What did you think about it? Or do you want to skip school and have a play date today? So I really, really value those relationships that I have developed because of homeschooling my children. Number 7, what is the best piece of advice that you ever received about homeschooling? I would say the best piece of advice that I ever received was to just have faith and slow down. Don't worry about what the grade level is. Don't worry about that you've finished every single problem of every single lesson. Don't worry about trying to keep up with the public school. Go at your kids' pace and don't worry about all the textbooks right away. I have enjoyed so much having all these early years with my kids, whereas if they were in the public school, they'd be pushed a little bit harder to stop doing a few fun things they still get to do while they're at home. Or even certain days, like if it's raining and it's warm outside, we can stop our lessons and we can go outside and we can make fun memories playing in the rain. And to me, my kids looking back at their childhood and knowing that we always created memories first is so important to me. They have the rest of their life to be adults. And let's be real, being an adult isn't always fun. So I want them to really, really have fun with their siblings, have a really awesome family relationship, and just make memories forever. 8, what is the best piece of advice you can give to someone who is first starting out? My best piece of advice is kind of the same advice that I ended up taking. It's to slow down and enjoy the moments. Wake up slow, cuddle with your kids, let them know that you're always there. My number one rule for our homeschooling is that relationship is always first. Relationship, relationship, relationship. They always know I am a mom before I'm their teacher. Question 9, what is the most difficult aspect of homeschooling? If you would have asked me this before we started homeschooling, I would have thought the actual academics and making sure that my kids were in the places that they need to be at academically would have been the hardest part. But in reality, the hardest part is schedule. We have so many appointments and extras outside of the house, such as speech and doctor's appointments, that we cannot reschedule and skip and do at a different time. And it really, really interrupts our day. So every single day is a little bit different. And so it's very hard to get a very good routine going. And sometimes that's confusing for the kids. So over the years, I've learned not to respond, I can do that anytime. I'm a homeschooler. And instead, I respond, we could do appointments between this time and this time on a Tuesday or Thursday. And really, if their appointments don't get fit into that time frame that I have scheduled out for errands and appointments, then it doesn't get done. I've been very, very fortunate that all of my kids' appointments have fit into that timeline. It can be stressful sometimes. As you saw in our busy day in the life video, on Tuesdays, we are in the van the whole entire day. We start with speech. We go to another speech appointment. We usually get our grocery shopping done. And then we do a little bit of school. And then we have dance. And then we have to pick up from dance. There's other errands that need in there during those days. So Tuesday and Thursdays are my 2 days that I've allowed us to get scheduled out so that we're not going every single day of the week and never able to get our homeschool done. There are certain times that I decide to just homeschool at night also. My 10-year-old absolutely loves homeschooling at night. That's when she's the most productive. And my 3 and 5-year-olds, usually when the 10-year-old goes to dance, I can come back home and I can get some stuff done with them uninterrupted by the 10-year-old. And so it kind of works out in the end for our family to do it in the afternoon sometimes. Question 10, what do you find most rewarding about homeschool? I think this one is so easy to answer. I'm part of everything. I don't have to miss out on my kids' lives. I don't have to worry about if somebody's mistreating them or speaking poorly to them. I don't have to worry about if they're falling behind on something, but it not being caught because there's 20 other kids, or a lot of times in our area, almost 30 other kids in the classroom, that the teacher just can't keep up with absolutely everybody. The rewarding part is that I am there for my kids all the time. They know that I'm there. They know that they're my priority at all times. And I think our relationship has really, really blossomed because of it. We're also very lucky that Dad has a job that I can send him pictures or texts about our day. And so he feels very involved in our day also. And he has, for the most part, except for the start of the year, he has a really good work schedule that really, we get more family time than the average American does ever. All right, and the final question is, do you make time for yourself? What do you do to practice self-care? Guys, I'm like most moms. I suck at this. I never make time for myself, ever. From the second I wake up to the second that my head lays on my pillow, it's all about my kids. Half of the time, I can't even sleep at night because I'm thinking about what we need to get done for the next day, or worrying if I'm doing the right thing for a certain kid, or worrying about what I need to change so that it could better fit another child. And so I am horrible at this. My husband and I used to make it that on Saturday he got to leave for a couple hours and do whatever he wanted to. And on Sunday I could leave for a couple hours and do whatever I wanted to do for that day. That all seems fun, but half of the time I don't have anything I need to go do. So then I end up going shopping for stuff that I don't need to go shopping for, or I end up skipping it because I just want to spend that time with my family instead. Part of starting this YouTube channel was a little bit of self-care also. I feel like this is a selfish thing that I am doing all for myself, even though my kids really, really enjoy it. It gives me a creative outlet, and it allows me to interact with other mamas that are going through the same exact journeys that I am going through. Homeschooling is one thing that you do not understand unless you're doing it. My goal for self-care is to do more of these YouTube channels so that I have a creative outlet, and then I'm trying to get more into my hobbies. I only have a couple really best friends. One I talk to on the phone, and then the other one we love to get together, but because our children are such young age, we're just at one of those phases in life that it's just not always easy to do. And so as our kids get older, I know that'll get easier and easier, and we'll definitely make each other more of a priority. But she's definitely that friend I can text at 2 a.m. and say anything, or I could send her the most embarrassing pictures of how dirty my living room is because of the kids, and she completely gets me, and I'm that best friend for her also. So it's so great to have that. Another part of the self-care is that me and her are trying to do a girls' day once per month because she needs it and I need it. All right, so that's all the questions for the Homeschool Mom tag. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for developing this so that we can all get to know each other a little bit better. If you have any other specific questions for me, comment down below. Feel free to ask me about anything. I'm a pretty open book. If you have any suggestions for different videos, go ahead and comment those also. So go ahead, push that big thumbs up. That helps my videos get a little bit higher in the algorithm. Subscribe to my channel, please. And also, if you could share and help get my name out there, that's the one way that you kind of grow on YouTube a little bit better. I love talking to my homeschool mamas and telling them who some of my favorite YouTubers are that have really, really helped me get through the years and understand that everybody's going through that little phase. The hours of work that other mamas put into their YouTube channels does not go unnoticed. Thank you all for all the hard work that you do.